Guys, this episode of Love is Blind, it was actually giving, it was a lot was going on in this episode. Um, but yes, I had to take a nap after I done my Love Island Games review because I was extremely tired. Like, the tiredness kind of just caught up with me, so I had to take a quick nap, rejuvenated, and now I'm back. And then this is only the second review. I still got Big Brother, but I could watch a bit later on and catch up on that and then have that review up for you guys later. But before we get into this Love Island, before we get into this Love is Blind review, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As you guys already know, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so be sure to join the family. Without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So, obviously from yesterday's episode, when Patrick went in to speak to Anna, Anna did not turn up. Anna, in fact, ghosted Patrick. Now, this should have been an inkling from when she had spoken to someone about this. I can't remember who exactly she spoke to, whether it was Blake or Patrick. I can't quite remember who she spoke to about this. But that should have been an inkling to be like, oh, you're one of those people that just ghost people. She's literally done it. Like, with no explanation, nothing. She just vanished. And Patrick said that he was falling in love with Anna. I want you guys to take in what I'm saying here. Patrick was falling in love with Anna. I want you guys to really take that in, because later on in the episode, I am going to have to drag Patrick. And Patrick is one of those people this season we're going to have to really watch out for. Because, yeah, he's got a big question mark over his name. Blake's more excited to speak with Anna. And this is where we found out that Anna ended up going home. She did not say goodbye to any of her dates. Obviously, we're not sure the main reason as to why she went home. We don't know, but all we know is that she's now gone home and with no explanation. I'm pretty sure at the reunion, if she turns up to the reunion, oh no, she probably won't. Because the reunion is for the people that actually like get engaged and that get married and stuff like that. So that's what the reunion. Actually, she could be in the audience. They could bring her to the reunion, so we may get answers regarding that. We don't know. Mike has he has like this girlfriend. So like, when I mean girlfriend, I mean like a girl that's just a friend. He has like this girlfriend who he's dated in the past, and she has a boyfriend, but she will still go to his place and use the sauna. That needs to stop. You are on a show, right? Potentially to look for a wife. You cannot be doing that anymore. And she shouldn't even be coming to you. It doesn't matter. Like, there has to be boundaries set up in place. I'm not saying that you can't be friends with women. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that men can't be friends with women. I'm not one of those men that believe in that bullshit. I'm not one of those guys. But what I will say is that when you're in a relationship, there has to be boundaries. And one of the boundaries is if the boyfriend and her was both coming to your place, that's different, because the man is there, not you. And the fact that you've dated her as well is just even though it's platonic, it's best to save any kind of aggro or any type of hassle that you may face in the future. Just dead that. And even the guys in the quarter was telling him, yeah, you gotta stop doing that. Like, there's boundaries that need to be put in place. Like, she shouldn't be coming to your place to use the sauna by herself and you at home by yourself. Like, it's just, no, that has to stop. We then get to Mike and Megan. Mike was talking about like Jordan's children having diabetes, and was saying how he knew someone that totally changed up their diet with the diabetes and that their health got better. Obviously, Megan hearing that due to the unfortunate case of her father and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if Mike knew. I can't quite remember if Mike knows this information about if Mike knows this information about Megan's dad. I believe he would have told her. I believe she would have told him, sorry. But let's just go off with the simple fact that he must know for him to... Nah, I don't think he does. I'm just going to go with the simple fact that he doesn't. Obviously, I would have said read the room, but if he doesn't know, then of course he doesn't know. But I don't see why she wouldn't have brought that up to him, especially if they're getting to know each other. I'm not too sure about that, but she wasn't feeling what he was really saying, to be honest. Like her whole energy and mood just changed. And he goes to actually say how he still communicates with his exes. Again, there's nothing wrong with communicating with an ex. I believe like if you guys end on amicable terms, you guys can still keep in contact, you guys can still talk. Like you actually can be cool with an ex. Like again, my mindset's completely changed, like when I told you guys, like I used to be one of those people that used to be like, you can't be friends with an ex. I will never be friends with it. Actually, I'm not friends with an ex. I'm cool. Like in terms like if I was to see them out and about, well, I'm anyway, let me not give my tea away too much. If I was to see them out and about, hi, how you doing? How's your mom? She good? Cool. Boom. Like that type of thing. Like we don't need to just pass each other on the street. But it's a thing where it's like in terms of like saying being friends and still like keeping in contact. If I'm single, I don't mind. I don't mind still keeping in contact. Maybe there's a little bit of stuff there that, but like if I'm seeing somebody, that's not happening. Like that is not happening. I will respectfully have to tell you, like, yeah, simply like not don't message me, but like don't message me type of thing. But obviously not in a rude way because I don't want the person I'm with to get the wrong idea or the wrong end of the stick. And I can't be bothered to really be explaining myself as well. Even though like the person who I'm with would have trust in me, it's just a matter to avoid all that kind of commotion. It's better that you stay over there, I stay here. Megan also follows one of her exes as well, and they are fairly amicable. So yeah, it's like it's kind of like for some people it's in the norm to kind of if it's an amicable breakup, you can. Some people believe that cutting all ties with ex is the best thing. I used to be one of those people, but it's a lot harder than you think. Sometimes it's not that easy to just cut all ties because I did that before, like with one of them anyway. I cut all ties, but then I saw like a whole year later, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of like, I got over the situation. And to be fair, we didn't end on bad terms. It was just like the situation was shit, but we didn't end on, like me and you, we good because we didn't end on bad terms. You get it? But it was a thing where it was like after a whole year had passed, I was just like to myself, you know what, it's cool, innit? Like, we cool, like I ain't no bad blood. There was never bad blood, but it was just like for the sake of me being with someone else, you had to remain blocked because I did not want I didn't want any confusion in terms of that. So yeah. We then move on to Jordan and Megan. Megan wants to have like the frank conversation with him. She was saying in the confessional. She just feels that their lifestyles doesn't match and it's not really what she's looking for in a husband. Jordan says that Jordan is materialistic, but he has like a humble home. Like he has a good apartment, but he doesn't have the most expensive apartment, and he drives quite a humble car. But he likes to go out for nice places and sometimes likes to buy like nice clothing. Like for example, he owns a pair of Gucci shoes. And Jordan is saying he is in love to the guys back in the men's quarter. Me personally, when it comes to like materialistic things, I'm not too bothered about all of that, to be honest with you. Yes, I have a few name brand things, but like when I shop now for clothes, I really try to shop from places where I know like some people may not know about or not many people shop from there. I just like to be different. That's number one. I like to be different. And number two, I don't see the point of spending even if you have the money, right? I still don't see the point of spending all that money, like spending £300 to £500 on a pair of shoes. Like to me, that's actually crazy. Like when I'm buying shoes now, I be buying shoes from TikTok Shop. I be buying shoes from ASOS sometimes still have brand name things. Sometimes Boohoo. Where else do I be buying shoes from? Sometimes Shein, like Bershka. Like I don't be buying shoes from like Nike anymore, JD, Foot Locker. Like when I was a bit younger, like in my teens, like that's what I was into, like the Jordans and stuff. Like I've kind of outgrown that stage in my life, and it's just like there's more important things to life than these materialistic things. I would rather spend that money that I'm going to spend on those shoes on a holiday. I would rather put that money if like how and this is how I this is what I say to myself as well, right? The money that I would go and use to spend £300 or £400 on these trainers, I'd rather invest that. You get it? Because at least with that, there's a chance I can make profit double what I put in. If I go to the store and buy the 300, that's my money just gone like that to buy shoes. For what? For the shoes to mess up and ruin within 2 years time. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's up to people what they want to do. I like, obviously people have the money to do whatever they want to do. So sometimes that's like money, that's like loose change to some people. But I believe, like, even if I would like to believe, even if I still had all that money, like if I was like fortunate enough to have all that money, I still wouldn't be doing. I just wouldn't. We then move on to Megan. Megan actually was going to write off Jordan. Like, she was completely going to write him off and friend zone him. But after like the recent conversation that they had, she was surprised by him. She said that she would never go for him on the outside world, and it just kind of goes to tell you, like, for some people that getting to know someone through like a connection without seeing them and just getting to pick up a vibe, it can make a huge difference, because she would never go for him on the outside. But there's a lot of qualities that he has that she likes, but their lifestyles are two completely different lifestyles. But I guess when he said he likes going for nice dinners, he likes the materialistic things, that opened up her antennas went up like this, because it's like, ooh, materialistic, because Meg comes from wealth. Well, actually, no, sorry, what I phrased that wrong. I don't know if she comes from wealth, but she works damn hard, and she's in a position where she's very wealthy. So her lifestyle is the glitter and the glam. That's why she has that nickname Sparkle, but the glitter and the glam, the expensive stuff. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if her wardrobe is full of like expensive items. I wouldn't be surprised. So from time she said that one of her friends, the wedding venue that they have, 400K, that's the type of bracket of money that she surrounds herself with. That's the type of money she knows. So yeah. Megan then goes to the pod, but no one turns up. So someone else has now ghosted someone else. And I put here and I wrote down, is this now becoming a regular theme? Like, people are just ghosting people? Like, what's going on? It's actually quite rude if you ask me. Blake ended up leaving the experiment. I didn't even say goodbye to Meg. I just think it's so disrespectful and it's so rude to just ghost someone like that. But then in hindsight, people that are doing that, you're dodging a bullet from them, because at the end of the day, you don't need someone that, if shit gets tough or they can't even communicate with you on a respectful level, even though they've been talking to you for... Remember, for us, it's only 3 episodes. They've probably been talking for time. That's been talking to you for a while. And then it just goes to you like that. They never respected you like that in the first place. That's how you have to see it. No matter what's kind of going on, the respectable thing to do is to just let the person know, listen, I can't carry on with this experiment. You don't even have to tell me the reason. It's just out of a respect thing, so I'm not left in the dark. Because these people that are getting ghosted, they're left in the dark. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's going on. Madison and Joe end up meeting each other for the first time, and Joe said he cannot match the voice with the face. Joe's in a lot of shock. Like, he's in so much shock, he forgot to give her the ring. That's how much shock he was in. Like, he was just so stunned. And Madison found it quite funny and found it quite cute, but she was like, he's going to need to kind of get that together, because, you know, you don't want your... I guess from a woman's perspective, you don't want your man to just be on edge and nervous like that all the time. And Madison says she loves a man with a boy, but I'm sick and tired of straight men having big bums. That shit really be irritating me. And that's all I'm going to say for that. Annie's top choice is Brendan. Then they end up having a conversation. Brendan is quite affectionate. So is Annie. Annie said that she is obsessive with her person, but in a good way. Because there is good obsessive and there's bad obsessive. You don't want to be the bad obsessive. That's the toxic type of shit. You don't want to be with... you don't want to experience that. Annie feels like she's leading the experience for him. I didn't really have much to say with their conversation, to be honest with you. So then Nick and Annie end up having a conversation, and Nick is saying that he can imagine saying her name in bed by moaning her name. Okay. He's saying that he's such a horn dog. Okay, so I'm going to say this for when he's talking to Annie, and I'm going to phrase it like this. When he's talking to Annie, he's very cringy. And he's actually giving me bad beat energy. And I wanted to touch on this. And I don't want people to be like, oh, are you saying what I think you're saying? Whatever you think I'm saying, I'm saying. But he's giving me bad beat energy. He's giving me like he might bat for both teams. I'm saying what I'm saying. That's the vibe I get. Now, my gaydar has never been always accurate. Sometimes it'll be on point, but not all the time is it. But with Nick, I get this kind of energy that he may bat for both. Like, he likes men, but he also likes women too. I don't know. I just get that energy from him because the way he sometimes be acting is a bit too... You get me? So, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I just want to touch basis on that. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's just the vibe and the impression that I'm getting. I wouldn't be surprised if later on in this season, things come out where Nick has not had a guy on the side, but he's done things with boys in the past or some... I don't know. Like, even talking about it now, like, I have this feeling in my chest like he's like that. I don't know. I could be completely off. That's what I'm saying, but he's giving me, like, bad beat energy. That's the energy I get from Nick. I'll be so real. But then this is where it gets interesting now. So when him and Kate end up having a conversation, Nick's energy is completely different. I'm not getting the cringe. I'm not getting bad beat energy from him. So I'm thinking to myself, are you just acting like this with Annie because you don't like her as much as you do like Kate? Because it's giving like real bad beat energy with Annie, like the girl best friend, like this kind of bravado, like Nicole said in her review, and I agreed with her when she actually said that. Like this kind of like you're putting this act on to kind of, I don't know. It's with Annie, he's not being his authentic self, but with Kate, he's really refined, he's really calm. She really enjoys his energy. He's confident in their connection, saying that you can even go back and relax because Kate was saying that her voice is kind of like fading away. And he does seem a lot calmer. He's not I wasn't cringed out watching them too. I was like, oh, this is actually quite sweet. He tells her just to take it at her own pace, and I actually do like them two together. Like, I'm like, oh, I really ship this because Nick it's not an act. This is the Nick I feel like this is the real Nick. You understand? Or maybe Annie just brings out a different side to him because different people can bring out different sides to you. So there is that as well. Edmund really makes me laugh because why when he was running to the pod, he was doing all this running and jumping. Edmund is actually a really big kid. He's a really big kid. Edmund and Calibria, we end up seeing them next, and Calibria's asking him, will he be mentally strong when it comes to taking care of the children if there's days where she isn't up to it, or she isn't up to it, like she's not mentally there. And then she ended up reading out a nice speech that she wrote him and told him that she loved him. He ended up he ended up proposing to her. And as sweet as everything is going between those two guys, I know it's sweet, I know. I just don't want that for Calibria. I don't know, like, no, I just don't. I just feel like Calibria is too much of a fine babe to be with someone like Edmund. And I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, take it as you want. I'm not here to justify or to explain on what I really mean by what I'm saying. Take it as ever you want. Take it however you feel. Like, yeah, she's too much of a fine babe for that. We then get to Casey saying that Casey was Patrick's number 2, but he said he wants to give it a few more days, and if there's nothing there, he will just have to go back to Denver by himself. Patrick then ended up telling Mike that Casey is his number 1. Why are you lying? Now, this is where I understand maybe you don't want to tell everyone your business. I get that. But I'm not really feeling the line because you're saying that you're saying that Casey's your number 2, but all of a sudden she's your number 1 only because Anna ghosted you? Because Anna was his number 1. But are you only saying this because you one of your options are gone, so now that bumps Casey up? Isn't Casey like his only other? So he only had 2, I believe. It was Anna and Casey, and now that one of them's gone, you have no choice but to make her your number 1. um, when the producer asked Patrick in the confessional, what does him and Casey agree on? He couldn't even answer the question. You're not feeling her like that, and that's absolutely fine. It's okay to not force things. I always say this to people. I always say this to my friends. If you're not feeling that spark, that connection, it's actually okay to dead it in the water immediately. Because when you try and lie your way through something or try to force it, it's going to end up being worse in the future. So there's no point trying to force something that just isn't there. You understand what I'm saying? We then get to Patrick and Casey having a conversation, and Patrick has never had an espresso martini. Fair dues. Casey was never the girl in middle school that all the boys had liked. When Casey asks, does Patrick like him? The way Patrick said, yeah. I'm sorry, if I'm asking you if you like me, and you are telling me, yeah, I promise you I will get up and I'll walk out, because that does not sound convincing whatsoever. That yeah was just like, yeah. That's the kind of vibe I got. Like, what do you mean, yeah? I'm asking you, do you like me? I need reassurance from you. And you're telling me, yeah. Like, just kind of, like, to kind of fob it off. That was not convincing whatsoever. Patrick is saying he had to cut off a connection. No, you got ghosted. Let me keep reminding you. Obviously, you're not going to tell her that, because if you tell her, she's then going to be like, oh, so am I like a second option? So I guess in a way, he's playing it smart, but even then, I don't like what he's doing. I can't get on board with it, because she wasn't your number one. So it kind of just seems like you're scrambling in this case. You're really trying to scramble, and I don't like that for you. You're saying, oh, give it a few more days. If that initial spark, and if she wasn't your number one, and this is why I had to bin someone off myself, because you're not about to put me in no fucking triangle. Okay? You're not about to put me in no triangle. When I was dating some guy a few months back, you know, everything was sweet, everything was going well, until he tried to say he found another connection with someone else, and then tried to put me in some triangle. I said, no, babes, I'm gonna help you with your confusion. I'm gonna just remove myself completely. I ain't nobody's second best. The fuck I look like to you? I know what I'm on, and I know what standards I stand by, and I ain't no one's second best. I beg your pardon. You and Mr. can ride off into the sunset and be happy. I wish you guys all the best, but don't involve me in that. That's just it. People gotta have some self-respect. And Patrick, I ain't really feeling you right now after that. If you know you're not feeling it with someone, don't be trying to pretend like you're feeling something. It's okay to say, you know what? I haven't found a connection. Let me leave this experiment. But some of y'all on these TV shows for the wrong reason. Patrick isn't 100% certain how bad Casey wants it. At least Casey is being honest and saying that she wasn't feeling it a few days ago. But if she had kept feeling that way, she would have just gone home, because she doesn't want to just stay on the TV show for the sake of staying on the TV show. Jordan doesn't know if she has it in her Jordan doesn't know if he has it in him to support another person financially. Remember, he already has a child. Children are very expensive. My mother tells me this all the time. She was like, you know, when you was a certain age, you know, when you was growing up, you was very expensive, you know. She tells me all the time. Children are very, very, very expensive. You gotta constantly be buying for kids. From since they're a baby, constantly buying nappies, bibs, food. And remember, you as a child, you grow. So every time you grow and clothes, you outgrow clothes and all these type of things. New clothes have to buy for your age bracket. Constant money gets spent. Kids are very expensive. So that's what I'm saying. And with Megan's lifestyle, anyway. So then Jordan and Megan end up having a conversation. And Jordan says there's couples out there that never argue. I can attest to that, because my aunt and uncle are one of them. Like, from what I've heard only great things. Like, but I'm sure they have disagreements. I'm sorry, every couple has disagreements. There's having disagreements and then there's arguing. The two are different. Like, there's things that you will agree and disagree on. Like, you will agree to disagree, but you will have a disagreement about something. But it's how you handle it. Some people, they just literally say, you know what, babe, let's take some time. we'll come back to this when our emotions are in check. Some people like to have the shouting match. To me, that is something I would never want to have with a partner. Like, me and we're not going to be screaming at each other. Well, you'll be screaming for yourself. And if I ever get a sense that any guy that I date is going to be on this screaming and shouting thing, I would actually just pack up my things and leave, because we are not doing that. That's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to have no shouting match with you. I'll leave that for other people to be dealing with. I'm not dealing with that. Jordan then ends up telling the rest of the boys that Blake had ghosted Megan. Mike then ended up doing the triangle sign, because he now knows that him, Jordan and Megan are like that in a triangle. Yeah, and they're talking. Yeah, that he's talking to the same woman. That's what I wrote down. We then get to Mike and Megan. Megan likes guys who are trouble. I will never understand that aesthetic. And then I put here, what's Mike doing? Because it's kind of like Mike was alluding to something about Jordan. I was like, you're not trying to be messy, are you? Because from what I've seen, from what they've shown us, Jordan doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he's a trouble guy. I don't get that vibe from Jordan. I get that vibe more from Mike. Mike seems like the type of guy that he still be having his ex-girl that he, was dating coming to the sort. Like, he seems like trouble. He seems like trouble. Mike seems like trouble. I don't get that from Jordan. And even him trying to allude to some messiness here. Oh. And Mike reminds Megan of one of her exes. From time you hear that, get up and leave. That's not a good thing, because they're your exes for a reason. And you're saying that he reminds you of one of your exes. I would actually get up and leave. I'll say, oh no, you know what? I'll get up. No, that's it. Like, if I remind you of one of your exes, I'll just leave. I'll actually just leave. Like, I feel like you don't say that to someone. You just kind of suss them out and you take it upon yourself if you want to keep going down that road, or if you want to go down a different road. But to say that someone reminds you of their ex is actually crazy work to me. Mike said he doesn't want to sit there and pour his heart out to her and look like an idiot, and she's saying that she needs time. But there's only so much time you all are going to get, so you all kind of have to be quick. And then Calibria and Edmund will finally meet face to face, but obviously we don't see the initial reaction, and that's going to be in episode 4, which you guys, the review for that will be out tomorrow. But yeah, guys, this episode it was actually quite good. I enjoyed watching this episode. Apart from like the first 2 was a bit slow, but I feel like this season's building up for it to be very dramatic. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting, like, with people ghosting people, and yeah, I just feel like this season is going to be very, very dramatic. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this review. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as you guys already know, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so be sure to join the family. I'll catch you guys tomorrow actually, no, not tomorrow. If you guys watch Big Brother, I will literally see you in a few hours. So, yeah, take care.